Deep breath in, deep breath out. Release, release, a little lion's breath. We have made it, dear goddess and gods and creators and creatives and those who are in all process of creation. Oh my goddess, we have made it to the end of this incredible week of nothing and everything all at once. This sacred ordinary life reflection is for me and is for you. This morning I was walking with my son and he said, you know, Mom, every stage of life sucks. And childhood sucks the most. It's the worst. And we had a conversation about that all stages of life have something that sucks and something that's good, you know, the good and the bad and the gray, and that it's both. And he said, no, this is the one that's the worst. And we were looking at the trees and walking together, and through my eyes, there was so much beauty in even the conversation, and affirming to him that I hear him. And I remember that feeling as a child. I remember not feeling autonomous, not feeling strong, not feeling heard, not feeling seen, not feeling loved. There were so many things. And last night he had said to me, we were watching a movie about a mom and son who were separated. And he said, I will never lose you, Mom. And I said, well, I will never lose you, Milo. And he said, at least I'm important to someone. It took my breath away. Isn't that what we all want? To be important to someone, to know that we have at least one person, hopefully many more, but at least one person in our life in which we belong and we're important and that we won't lose. So that's how I'm closing this week. I just got back from a long walk with lots of sunscreen, and I'm damp, alive, moist, wet, messy, you know, not clean. And that's okay. That's what this part of this season is inviting. And we've made it to the end of this week as we turn towards Shabbat. And some of you take Shabbat at all different times of your life, right? This 12 to 24 hour rest period that we set into our calendars each week as a place to land, mark time, reflect, pause, integrate, exhale from our life. And I'm going to do today a little bit of just some words to help you land into your Shabbat this week, into your rest this week, that are just from my own heart, inspiration, journals, really. And then I'll read to you a little bit from this incredible healing book, My Body, My Earth. And so again, release that breath. By this point of the season, right now it's August, there's so much pitta build up in us, so much of that heat and that fire. So lots of relaxing the jaw, the throat chakra, just being really gentle and caring with our breath, with our body, cool practices to help reduce that pitta that builds, that fire. I am creating. Look at how things are flowing. I have so much. This feels so good. Wow. Wow. So those are some mantras I've been working with over the past few months to share with you that I hope will be helpful to you. I am creating. Look how things are flowing. I have so much. This feels so good. Wow, wow. I've been sitting with these phrases around legacy, lifestyle, and priorities for this season that's approaching, right? Doing some planning for fall. And here's kind of how I've been framing it. See how it feels. She shared her love generously, widely, boldly. She radiated acceptance and always saw the best in folks. She shared her love generously, widely, boldly, radiated acceptance, and always saw the best in folks. And I'm landing that in terms of how I'm thinking of fall and winter. I'm rooting myself, grounding myself in those phrases, that possibility that I could be that woman, that woman shared her love so generously, that I'm growing into this loving woman that's wide and bold and radiating acceptance, inviting people in, inclusivity for collective healing, that we become the people that we most admire and most long to be, because it's the essence of who we really are. This really matters. I used that phrase as I was doing some planning and journaling this week to also then bring into alignment. Here's a really cool practice for you. Create some phrases that are aligned to you, that are at your heart center, and repeat them a few times. Draw them out, write them out, be with them. And then go look at your bank statement. Look at your charities, look at your donations, look at your giving, look at your habits that are directly related to your banking, how you spend your money, and see if those things are in alignment. So the next part of this planning for the fall for me was rooting myself in loving to give money to folks who feel so aligned, that I'm so happy, so thrilled to be donating money to these creators, these musicians, these sacred teachers, these artists who matter to me, and that my bank statement reflects. She shared her love generously, because I do believe that finances and love are all energy and can be connected in many ways, that she shared widely and boldly, and that she radiated acceptance, that the seeing the best is like, I support you, I see you. And so that there's this, in feminine economy, in gift economy, we are honoring creators, artists, storytellers who are not traditionally well invested in our societies, haven't been. And so to move into the world I imagine and dream of, I'm actually spending time honoring those that I give money to. I have a big list of them, the organizations like Kohenet, the people like Adrienne Marie Brown, like Hadar Cohen. I have lists of the people I pay for and support on Patreon, the organizations and nonprofits and communities. And I have to make choices aligned on seasonally the mantra that I'm living by, or the phrases. I can't wait to hear how this goes for you. It's so fascinating to see where we're in deepest alignment and flowing with gratitude for the flow of energetics when we're talking specifically about money. And this is how money is a sacred practice. because we're supporting the people, the organizations, the things that matter most at the deepest levels of who we are. Without shame, without blame, but we can move more in alignment with how we support others. We are on our way. We are creating. We are in flow. What a gift all this learning is. What a gift of awareness and presence. Realizing that reading books and having conversations, as we do here in Lola Land, is the privilege of health, wellness, intelligence, vitality, and that having the space for awareness and presence is a privilege. And so how do we ripple that to all of the interactions and relationships that we have in the world? For me, being in sacred community, I have a bunch that I'm in and that I run, is the way that I can keep integrating so that when I'm out in the world beyond this container, the practice of loving kindness, the practice of compassion, internal and external, the practice of presence and awareness is so much stronger because I choose this. I'm intentionally choosing to be in sacred community, to keep reminding me and reminding me and reminding me to be here, to be seeing, to be awake, to be awakening, and to be loving for all the humans. The sacred communities and conversations and books and things that we do here, even this talk today, is a reset, a reminder of our potential, of our goodness, and let us please share that with this hurting, chaotic, wacky world. Creating my life is fun. I am here to give and receive. I am in the flow of receiving and allowing. I am free. I am flowing downstream in my life. I'm looking for joy and ease at every step of the way. I am in deepest alignment with my inner being, and she is guiding me. We are growing. We are on our way. We are open. I know what's for me and not for me. And I am at peace with what's for me and not for me. I am committed to fill in the blank for you. I am committed to, and say out loud, what are you committed to? I am devoted to, fill in the blank. Say out loud what you're devoted to. I am devoted to, I am committed to. Reminding ourselves of this over and over and over. I want to feel so good more of the time. I allow myself to feel so good more of the time. I'm on the right path. I'm on my way. I have so much. We are so much. We are creating the lives we desire. We are alive and awake and aware. Giving myself permission to change my mind. Giving myself permission to be more fully myself today. I am open to receiving all wisdom. And breathe. Lean back in the great love. Feel free to write down, repeat, rewind, pull any of those reminders for your weekend, for your rest, for your life. And now is our storytelling. Somatic story keeping from My Body, My Earth. Somatic storytelling is a sacred job. When you tell your stories, the ones you find within the veins of your life, be sure you speak kindly about your ancestors and your relatives. Find their goodness and emphasize it. Tell their story as if it is your story. If you must speak of suffering, tell the story with a moral or with a lesson learned or with an unexpected turn of fate that helps to reframe the pain. And of course, seek the spirit of the story by developing objectivity, looking at it through the eyes of an eagle, as well as through the eyes of the mouse. Perspective is essential. That little clip right there has been so valuable to my life. So valuable. I'm learning how to rewrite some of the stories and the narratives of my ancestors and my relatives from the mouse and the elephant, from the eagle, from all of the different views of what could have happened or what might have happened. So powerful to think of being able to do this in ourselves. Let's go deeper with sacred stories. Sacred stories always flow in circles. If you've been in Lola Land the past few months, all you'll hear is circles and spirals and circles and spirals and seasons. Sacred stories always flow in circles. Many of the stories your body holds are spiritual in nature, transcending time and space and bringing past and present experiences full circle. Round and round, these stories are represented symbolically and mythically in each person and come with a sense of soul infusion, embodying your spirit's legacy and creative potential. Remembering your sacred stories helps you witness your fate consciously. When you act on purpose, your life force feeds and organizes all the other parts of you into a functional system. When you are spiritually aligned and inspired, a rebirth occurs that is explained as a movement from your karmic path to your dharmic path, manifesting a personal renaissance that is nurtured by alignment with earth-centered flow. Let me repeat that sentence. When you are spiritually aligned and inspired, so right now in your body, can you feel spiritually aligned and inspired? And I'll pause. A rebirth occurs that is explained as a movement from your karmic path, right? All the things that have happened in your fields and your thoughts and your body, to your dharmic path, the highest and best for your life, manifesting, creating a personal renaissance that is nurtured by alignment with earth-centered flows. When you plug in to spiritual alignment and inspiration, you are suddenly within the earth-centered alignment flow in which you're completely interconnected to the earth, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars, to the sky, to the trees, to all of humans and plants and animals. It has its own rhythm and cannot be forced, right? So you can't think about being spiritually aligned and inspired. You have to feel into it. You have to, let your heart open, let your back relax, let your jaw relax, let your front brain relax, and feel into it. It can't be forced in, but rather our spiritual alignment and inspiration is nurtured with prayer, meditation, and ceremony. Prayer, meditation, and ceremony. So many of us have residue of the word prayer from abusive systems of oppression within religious dogma. And we're going to start to just pull away from that and separate that. When we are talking about prayer here in Lola Land, we are talking about reverence for life, We're talking about blessings. We're talking about seasons and cycles and rituals and ceremony that is happening in those cycles, spirals, circles, seasons that we are a part of. We are not separate from. Prayer, meditation, and ceremony. The prayer I've been working with so much these days, so much. When I go to bed, when I take a nap, I lay on my side and hug myself and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I got you. I'm here for you. It's just a prayer, a gratitude, and honoring of that, of some of the parts that I have that are longing for that love. And I'm learning to give it to myself so regularly, as much as possible. And it feels so good. And so prayer can be any way that we're honoring the divine love within and without. When I had that talk with my son today, this morning, I stopped at this tree and I put my hands on the tree and I said, oh, yeah, life is really hard. There is a lot of suffering. There are parts that suck. And I had my hands on the tree and I was looking at the tree and I looked up and there's leaves and sun and it's so gorgeous. It's awe and wonder. And I said, but this, buddy, I can't explain this mystery of how much I feel this tree right now. And it's so beautiful that it really helps me get through the hard parts. And he looked at me very suspiciously and just said, well, that doesn't work for me. And I said, yeah, I understand. And when I was his age, it wouldn't have worked for me either. And so it is. Wishing you all a really beautiful, restful, wonderful, awful, awful, right? We're looking for awe and we want to be full of it. And it's the same as awful, awful. I love that. Time in your life, in the season, in your own sacred storytelling, in your own body, my earth. Ruby Gibson is the author of that book. And just pause and breathe. Closing this time together. May it be of support for your highest and best self, dharmic path. May this time together ripple into our world one by one, towards collective healing, collective harmony, collective liberation. May we find the clear path of justice, healing, harmony, and wholeness for all. Be well.